In the end, it was pretty obvious why I was falling out of love with running. Every second morning, the alarm would go off. I'd get up, look at my watch, look at my phone, look at the app, and I'd find out what it was that I was being told to do. I'd get dressed, pull on a pair of shoes that felt like they were going to get me through that session, and I was off. I was out there, doing the work, doing the job. But after a while, for me, it just felt like I wasn't running because I wanted to run anymore. I was running because I was being told to run. And I think that's an important point because nobody really likes being told what to do, especially by a robot. Welcome to RWB, or Running with Benny. I'm Chris, and you'll meet Benny near the end of the episode. This episode is all about connection, because that's what running has always been for me. At the same time, in this episode, I'd also like to do a quick review of the spectacularly gorgeous Adidas Evo SL, which is one of the shoes that has really helped me find my love of running again. So a super quick background, I realised recently that I was feeling a bit disconnected from the joy, I guess, from the freedom that you get from running. That sense of moving your body, of being out there because you want to be out there. Rather than that, I was feeling a little bit like it was work. It was a job that I had to do that morning before I went to work. So one morning, a few weeks ago, I switched everything off. No app, no pace target, no heart rate zone, no specific run that I had to do, no specific distance that I had to do. I decided that each day I was just going to hop out of bed and ask myself, what do I feel like doing? That led to several shorter runs. I'd get up and I realized that I felt like doing a slow 5 kilometers, or maybe trying to break a PB over a fast 5 kilometers, or maybe I'd split it up into fast, slow, fast, slow, fast. Whatever it was that I felt like doing, I could do it because the robot was no longer telling me what to do. On those runs, I actually started noticing things around me a little bit more, which was kind of cool. You realize that when your watch isn't angrily buzzing at you, you have more time to notice what's around you. You have more time to see what's there. And that was a really great discovery for me. One of the best things about it was that I got to choose the shoes that matched my mood, if you like. If I felt like doing an easy run, I'd choose a very different pair of shoes to the ones I choose for breaking a PB. So today is Saturday. I chose to do a long run. I'd been doing quite a few short runs in a row every second day, so I decided to do a long run. I decided on 15 kilometers, and that run was going to be 5 kilometers easy pace, 5 kilometers fast pace, 5 kilometers easy pace. And the shoes that I chose to take me along the way were these incredibly gorgeous Adidas Adizero Evo SL. So let's talk about these shoes for a minute. So the Adidas Evo SL, I love them because it kind of feels like they're not telling you what to do on a run. Some shoes, they're only happy if you're going fast. Other shoes, only happy if you're going slow. These Adidas Evo SLs, they're just happy to be with you on a run. They are very, very light. My men's US 9.5 comes in at 237 grams, which is getting right down there towards racing shoe weight. The upper is very light, very breathable. Not a whole lot of extras to get in your way to make things heavy, just enough to create a really nice lockdown. The one letdown of this shoe is the laces and the tongue. I've had a lot of trouble just when I first put the shoes on. It usually takes 2 or 3 times lacing them up again and again until you get it right. The laces just are not great quality, and the tongue could do with being another 10 millimeters longer, something like that. But once they are on, they're absolutely fine. I've run in these in hot weather and cold weather. They breathe really nicely. They always feel good. Actually, I'd say the upper kind of disappears on your foot. You almost don't notice that you're wearing it after a little while, which is fantastic. That's exactly the way a shoe should be, but it should disappear on your foot. The real star of this show is the Light Strike Pro Foam. This is the Adidas top of the line running shoe foam. It's in all of the Adidas race shoes, and here it is in a daily trainer, which is spectacular. There's 7 millimeters of drop, which means there's 39 millimeters of stack in the back of the shoe, 32 millimeters in the front. So lots and lots of foam running through, whether you're a heel striker or a forefoot striker. Either way, you're going to love this shoe, and there's going to be plenty of foam under your foot. There's also a very small, I think it's around about here, a very small nylon shank, they call it, in the shoe, which is essentially just a piece of plastic that's there to stop too much sideways movement when you land on all of this foam. It is not a carbon plate, and it is not a plate that runs the whole way through the shoe. It's simply in there to keep the foam together. The mix of the Light Strike Pro foam and the nylon shank, it just creates a perfect blend of softness and snappiness. It's a shoe that's really, really happy when you pick up the pace, but as I said, not too unhappy when you slow down as well. What distance are these best for? I would probably take it up to a half marathon distance. I think that full marathon distance, that last 10 kilometers, when you're tired, when you're losing form, when your feet do need a bit of extra support and they're really starting to hurt, I would prefer a shoe with a full length carbon plate, or one that feels as if it has one. So a shoe that's a tiny bit more stable. But this one, up to the half marathon distance, absolutely. Finally, of course, there's the outsole. Here we've got the Continental rubber, which Adidas is using a lot of and experiencing some really great success. Look, it's not Puma Grip. Puma Grip is the top of the tree at the moment when it comes to grip, but I've not had the slightest problem with these. So yeah, a very, very good second best on the Continental rubber. The one tip I'd give for these shoes, for the Adidas Evo SLs, when I first ran in these shoes, when they were completely new, not only was I a little bit upset because it took me so long to do them up and to get the lockdown right because of these nasty laces. Also, the sole during that first run felt kind of blocky. It felt a little bit too hard. I actually rang a mate of mine who loves these shoes and who talked me into buying them, and told him that they were a fail. And he said to me, keep on trying, give them 2 or 3 runs, I promise you'll love them. And I'm really glad he told me that. He was absolutely correct. Every single run since then, they're getting better and better. So don't judge these ones on their first run. They do need a few runs to break in. So this was the perfect shoe to take me around Canberra's beautiful Lake Burley Griffin for my middle distance 15 kilometre Saturday morning run. So if you want to fall back in love with running, my advice as an old bloke who's run for 40 years is that running should never feel like a performance review. It should never feel like something you're doing because you have to do it, something you're being tested on, something you're being judged on. If anybody or anything makes you feel that way about your running, whether it's a person who constantly makes you feel as if you should be quicker and that you're failing because you're not as fast as they are, or whether it's an app, which increasingly of course it is, then I think you need to get rid of them, at least for a little while. Some days you do want to chase a PB, other days you just want to go for a jog. Either way it's okay because you are running. And that's what Running with Benny is all about. It's about rediscovering running as a connection, whether it's to your body, to the world around you, or to people you care about. Speaking of people you care about, next week I'd like you to meet Benny. Benny's my 13-year-old son. He is just beginning his journey through the teenage years, and I figure running is about as good a way as possible to stay connected during that period. Importantly, we're not training for anything. We're not chasing any algorithms. We're not putting any pressure on each other, but also we're not growing apart as he grows through his teenage years. I hope. So if you'd like to join us on that journey, please do like and subscribe. You know the drill. It's not going to be all about us. Every single episode will contain some sort of running gear review, as well as hopefully lots of peer-reviewed research into particular topics that are of interest to runners. I'm a journalist. That's what I like to do, to find the facts and to report them, and that's what I want to do on this channel. So I will see you in the next episode where you'll meet Benny, maybe some of his family and friends as well. I'll also be reviewing a spectacular pair of Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s. I will see you then.